Welcome to Real Chat with Kat, the podcast that's all about real conversations for real transformation. I'm your host, Kat Polsinelli, professional speaker, MC, and best-selling international author. Here, we tackle the tough stuff, the mud that we all have found ourselves in. We talk about the pivots, the challenges, and the victories that shape our lives and our businesses. From overcoming trauma and finding your voice to navigating life's unexpected twists, we get raw, honest, and open. You'll hear from inspiring guests who share their stories of resilience, healing, and growth. Whether it's breaking through emotional abuse, embracing self-worth, or thriving in entrepreneurship, you'll find connection, empowerment, and the tools to keep you moving forward. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for stories that hit home and conversations that make a difference. Let's get real together. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Real Chat with Kat. So we decided to do something a little bit different here in 2026. This podcast has been going now for just over 3 years. And let me tell you, I have had some amazing guests throughout this entire process, which has been absolutely wonderful. So thank you all for your amazing continued support and letting us know what you're interested in hearing and reaching out. It's always fantastic to hear. Now, moving on to today's episode, we had some amazing episodes back in 2024 that really need some additional recognition. So we thought, why not go ahead and compile some of the best pieces from that and bring them straight to you. You're going to get the best of all the worlds, and you'll still be able to go and find the episodes for the full length so that you can really listen to that guest, especially if they resonate with you. You know, as we've moved into the new year, I know everybody is looking to do something different. And one of the bigger things, especially in the entrepreneurial space, is what are some of the best ways to build my brand? Right? Now, in 2024 and in 2025, we had some phenomenal guests that came in to speak about this very exact thing. But in 2024, we had 3 that were the most downloaded, most listened to episodes. And so we decided to bring them all together to share them with you. So today you're going to hear from 3 different guests that we have taken some of the best pieces and clipped together so you can get a little bit of everything. So get ready and make sure that you take your pen and paper out because you are going to want to take notes. Today we're going to talk about alignment in building your brand and what that looks like through podcasting, through email marketing, and aligning with yourself in your brand as well. So to introduce my guests. So the first one that we have is the Fru Pinter. She is phenomenal, a beautiful soul and human being. She actually owns 2 companies and is a free dive instructor. You're going to want to listen to this entire episode because she does a beautiful job talking about how she has blended her businesses and how they all kind of overlap with what it is that she does in free dive as well. Totally amazing. Now, she's also created a product line for free diving and for swimwear all together. So anyway, she's going to give you some amazing tips and pointers in that regard and aligning with your brand and doing what works best for you and not necessarily everything else that everyone is telling you. And don't get me wrong, some of the gurus are great and it might not align with you. There have been a lot of people that I have found their information absolutely phenomenal. And at the same time, there was a lot of things that I had to tweak because it just didn't align with who I was as a person. And so therefore I never stuck to it. I'm sure that resonates with you as well. So get ready to listen to Fru Pinter, and our next guest is going to be the amazing Noemi Beres. Now, Noemi, again, another amazing human being. She is actually in the podcast space and helps those that want to be on podcast get to the right podcast. So she works with guests. Now, here's the really cool part. She's been doing this for a really long time, and Her and I actually met through an exchange of her sending someone my way, and I fell in love with the way that she connected to me as a podcaster. So, if podcasting is something you are looking to get into or you're looking to guest on, you do not want to miss her episode. Listen to some of her tips, but go find the entire episode for Noemi Beres because let me tell you, she has some gems when it comes to this. And she really wants to make sure that those that work with her align with the podcast that they are going on because that's where your message is going to spread the furthest, right? And that's one of the reasons for being on a podcast is to also let people know what it is that you do, right? So, anyway, get ready for that one. And number three, and definitely not last, is the amazing Joanne Homestead. Oh, her and I had such a beautiful conversation. We had the giggles before we even got online. She is, again, another phenomenal human being. And Joanne specializes in email content. Now, not just email content. I don't mean I just want to send some stuff out to my people or I want to let them know about my masterclass, but how to use emails as a form of art to do your selling with your business in those emails. That's what she specializes in. And she has a beautiful knack for being able to take your wording and take your stories and create it into this wonderful space where you don't have to stay online all the time if that's not your space and try to sell yourself. Your emails are going to get you in front of the right people, and those people are going to buy from you through that space. What did I tell you? Three amazing people. Now you know why they were the top downloaded in 2024 and get ready to see some of the best pieces for each one of them. And then, of course, be sure to get into the podcast itself and find those three episodes so you can hear the full 45 minutes of all of the amazing informations that they have to share and that we go back and forth and talk about. I am telling you, this is going to blow your mind. So again, get ready to take notes, get ready to take action, and get ready to build the best brand that you have. Take a look. What it is that you do and what got you into your space.
Thank you for this question, and it's a big one. So my name is Fru Pinter. I'm somewhere in my 30s. I'm a female entrepreneur, and I'm having a very multifaceted life. So first of all, I'm a designer. I'm a brand designer, helping people figure out their space in the space. So figure out what they do, what they deliver, dig really, really deep why they do what they do. So a lot of strategy. And then I help them design awesome visuals to back that and to attract their ideal clients. So I'm very passionate helping people who do what they are passionate about, yet again. And I said this word twice because I am led by my other passion as well. So next to design, I'm a freediving athlete and an instructor. So I'm a lot in water. And the third leg is kind of the combination of these two. So at some point I said I wanted to make the things that I wish existed. And I started my own activewear brand for freedivers and water people. So basically that's where freediving and being in the water and my design background comes together with my passion for sustainability. So as confusing as it sounds, the three legs are creativity, freediving, and a mixture of the two.
When you were doing that, how did that process work for you? Because I know that also kind of comes back to your branding business and what you do as well. So what was the process you kind of took yourself through as far as learning your message and really honing in on what you wanted to do with that?
That's a very good question. Thank you so much. And just another note of what you just said, indeed, your brand will evolve. But it will evolve to the direction that it makes sense to evolve to. You will win so much time and so much headache and so much financials by actually sitting down and investing into this investigation first and not just jumping into serving everybody or being something that you are not actually backing. So that's very smart of you to have sat down and set your foundations and then evolve on that. So it makes much more sense to filter your audience, moving onwards, and maybe you start to do what you thought you were passionate about, and you find more and more and more and more nuance in it, and you find more and more directions, and that's a healthy development of a brand. So yeah, that's amazing.
When you talk about all three of your businesses, the bigger piece and component is understanding your core values as well. And then you have your core values for your businesses, and you have your core value for your free diving, so which is self-care. And so those core values then expand into the values that you have for yourself that are your non-negotiables that then play out in your life. And I think that when you think on that level as well, it's really beautiful because you can encompass all of them, right? Because you have core values for how you deal with your clients that still kind of transfer into how you deal with yourself. And then when you encompass self-care and making space for that as well to help with burnout, then you also are expanding those core values, which inevitably you're going to end up using when working with your clients too. And what's really interesting is I never thought about core values when I first started in business. And, so for anyone that's out here that's listening, if you feel like you're struggling with like, how do I come up with wording, or I don't really know who I want to talk to, be aware of what are your non-negotiables when it comes to working with your clients, when it comes to the type of clients that you want to have and don't want to have, when it comes to your lifestyle. What are your non-negotiables? What are your core values? Because that in turn can help develop not only your brand, not only your passion, but also your free time as well, which then kind of gives you a full view of how you kind of want life to look like, at least in at one day, right? Even if it's something you're striving for, you're basing it off of those non-negotiables, which can change, they can shift depending on the season of life that you're in. But I think it's beautiful that you really have encompassed all of those together to make your life very fulfilling for you the way that it worked best for you.
Exactly. And that's very good to say that, yes, when you start a business, you actually craft your present, but you're also crafting your future. So a lot of business owners start their business to have a better future, but actually it's also evolving together with staying true to yourself. And for example, when I started freediving, then obviously my life looked very, very different. And at some point I realized that, okay, I really need to invest into self-care if I'm to function as a highly functioning creative, right? And I understood that, okay, freediving helps in that, but I need to give it more time. I need to give it more effort. So I started to shift my business. I started to shift the people I'm working with who were, for example, in the right time zones. So I didn't have to work in the morning, so I could go diving or training whatsoever. So this can take so many different forms than you would even expect. So it's good to really be aware, stay true, look at your vision, but also look at your present and bring it together and trust your intuition also of how that could go. So take a moment with yourself. And after all, your life will be your business as well. And if you have a quality life, if you enjoy your life, you will also more likely are able to show up in quality for your clients, whether or not you are a service provider or you are an owner of a product. So that's just so important. And to me, it was also very important that, okay, freediving also has to feed back, has to feed me in a way that it enhances my life quality. So that's just super important to find this. And then it also attracts alike. So you may ask at the moment, okay, but Fru, who are you working with at the moment? What is your niche if you're talking about it so confidently? So, what my niche is actually people who are driven by this same amount of passion I'm investing into my life, people that crafted the dream lifestyle. I mean, I'm living in a warm country. I'm doing constantly whole day. I'm doing the things I like. I mean, okay, it's not all butterflies and rainbows and so on. I have a very normal life, but I made sure that indeed the core activities that I'm engaged in, I really, really enjoy.
Please tell everybody who you are and what it is that you do.
So my name is Noemi Beres. I live in Cyprus in Europe, and I run a podcast booking agency. I'm the co-founder of it. It's called Podcast Connections. We help entrepreneurs and business owners to get on quality podcast shows and reach their lives through connections. That's what we've been doing since 2020. And I became an entrepreneur in 2007. I was doing different things in the marketing world, and I really enjoyed that part, but I enjoy even more working in the podcasting world. I'm also an artist, a mixed media collage artist. So this is only a nutshell about me, but yeah.
Ooh. I love it. And I've had the absolute pleasure of having a chance to chat with you offline, but also having a chance to speak with some amazing people that you have sent to the podcast as well, which has been wonderful. I've only recently had a couple of people reach out, but Noemi does an amazing job at really understanding her people and making the connection. So tell me then, because I know you're an artist, you do some mixed media and stuff. What made you decide to jump into podcasting agency? Like what where did that come from?
Well, that's a great question, Kat. It has nothing to do with my education or anything like that. By trade, I'm a linguist. I'm a Scandinavian linguist. I speak Danish and Swedish, but ended up in Ireland with my husband, and we started our own online business back in 2007, and that was a travel-related business. Like we worked remotely since 2007. Everything went well. The business was great until the pandemic hit. And because our business was travel related, so from basically one day to another, it just disappeared. And
Yeah.
we had to pivot. And
Yeah.
yeah, and luckily we had a mentor. He was from Ireland, and he advised us to start something in the podcasting world. He had a course, we can call it a course or some kind of program. It was low fee. We jumped on it and just, yeah, let's do it. So basically from one day to another, we started our own podcast booking agency. And that was back in March 2020. And that was a very interesting journey with a lot of hard work involved. But I really enjoyed it. We just learned as we went along. And we met so many amazing people across the globe, because people feel that you kind of getting bored of those interviews. So, and prepare for each and every interview, and just spend a few minutes, maybe a bit of breathing exercise, a bit of meditation before every single interview, to be in that moment and to just be present when you are on a show.
Oh, this is my absolute favorite. Like I love everything that you said, and I'm going to 100% agree with it as a podcaster. Um, we're coming back to this end piece though about preparing right before. Because you are right. I do feel like I do get pitched by a lot of people, and I have had some that send me like all their accolades and everything that they do and all the things that they talk about. And I'm like, yeah, but how does that relate to my show? Like,
Mm.
how does that relate to my audience? How are you going to give to them what you have? So I love that you said, be unique, because I have had several people that are like, I empower people. I'm like, that's great. What the heck does that mean? Because everybody empowers people. We're all looking to transform. We're all looking to change. We're all looking to uplift. Like, what is unique to you? What do you want to share? And I actually love the idea of having a short clip. I have had a couple of people that have shared that with me, not like a full video. And I was like, all right, I'm kind of feeling them, but not really sure. And I've done that because you're right. I am not going to read through a 10-page bio. I am not going to read through and look you up on 50 platforms like that. I'm not going to. And to be completely honest, even when I am booking my guests, it is in my form to not give any more than 4 links. No more than 4, because that is just, it's so much to keep up with. It's so much
Yeah,
to put in the show
absolutely.
notes. And to be completely honest, you do not want to be on the other end when somebody is saying, how can people find you? And you've got this gigantic list
Yeah,
of
I
different
know.
places. So you can find me here, and I'm on X, and I'm on Instagram. You can go to my website here, my free like it's way too much and
Yeah.
overwhelming. And for people that are listening, even if people that are watching, like most people aren't sitting and like rigidly taking notes on what you are saying. So they're not going to write down your Instagram handle and 15 other platforms that you are on. So find the few that are the most powerful, that have the most information about you, and that's the place that you want to push people. And you said something a minute ago. You said doing a mock interview. I think that is absolutely brilliant because I know that even when I started first sharing my story and like trying to pop on
Yeah.
Facebook and all that stuff and do lives, I would like refuse to rewatch what I had just done. Which is really funny because I've been on stage since I was like 10. I love to sing, and I've had to re-listen to myself
Mm.
sing and stuff like that, which by the way, for a while I didn't like to listen to either. But that's a whole nother thing. But what was really interesting was the more that I got over the cringiness of hearing my own voice. I don't know why, and I know I'm not the only person out here, so you guys can laugh at me, but I know I'm not the only one. But
No,
once
you're
I got
not. No,
over
you're
that,
not.
it became so much easier to pick up on things. And then what I started seeing myself as was somebody who was speaking to me. So instead of seeing just myself and just criticizing the crap out of myself, I started to recognize myself as someone that could speak to people, as someone that was sharing their story. And then, and this is so funny. So I'm gonna share this. I have done my stories a few times where I don't know. I can't keep up with the ring, okay? It's like 20 seconds and I can't keep up with it every time. And so sometimes when I'm doing my stories, I get caught in the middle of it. And I'll go to leave the next one and I always like make a joke about it or something. When I rewatch my stories now, because now I make sure that I do so that I'm hearing what I'm saying and I'm hearing how I'm saying it, I will laugh at my own jokes. I will laugh at my own jokes. And I'm like, I just said that. Why is that so funny to me? But it's because I have learned how to separate myself a little
Yeah.
bit from seeing myself as just me and criticizing to seeing myself as if I am watching someone to gauge how they are interacting and how could they potentially do better. And that has helped me tremendously. So I love this idea of doing a mock interview.
If you're doing lives, like the interview is live on LinkedIn or live on, it can be on Instagram or, Facebook, excuse me. It's an absolutely amazing idea to even just to do like a pre-marketing, like, teaser, a
Yeah.
post on LinkedIn or on Facebook or wherever you are, and just take a picture of yourself. Oh, I'm getting ready for this amazing interview with Kat. I'm so excited. And by the way, check out her podcast and, leave a review and subscribe to it because it's amazing. And that's it. And, that's a big thing and a big push to the podcast host too, because who doesn't like to have an extra review and extra subscriber and just a bit of kindness. It goes a long
Yes.
way. And as you said, promoting the episode is a must for the guest, because why not? I mean, you are a guest, you need to share the content. It takes so much time to create content all the time and to create new content. And content is still king. So once you get all that promotional material and links, and even sometimes the host send you like a pre-written description or whatever for your
Yeah.
LinkedIn
I've
page
seen them
or
do
for
that.
Instagram. And you can, if you don't have time or you are not really into social media, you can basically copy paste it and you just share it. And because they are so helpful. And also, always remember to tag the host, because it's a win-win situation for everyone. Because once you tag the host on LinkedIn or other social media platforms, their followers will, see that post too. So it's the more the merrier. I think it's just
Mhm.
crucial to tag, to promote everything. And if you have the opportunity to repurpose the content and create audio clips or video clips or quotes or anything that you can use, you can just reuse it in the next couple of months, because people won't remember what you posted 2 days ago on LinkedIn or on
Yeah.
Instagram. So you can easily use them even like once a month, twice a month. You can go back to your old interviews and just repurpose them, all those audiograms and videograms. It's just amazing. And people will just notice like, oh my God, that person just, is on podcast interviews all the time. How do they do that? And it's like, yeah, they're smart. They just reuse the content over and over again, maybe different clips or different quotes from the interview, but it really, really helps to do the job. It's kind of an industry secret, but if you want to get on somebody's show and I'm not saying desperate, but you are very keen to get on that show, you leave a review to take a snapshot or like a screenshot or whatever of
Yeah.
that particular review, because sometimes when you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, it takes ages until it will go live. But you can actually do a screenshot And I've seen that before, people doing that, for example, in a LinkedIn post, they just put that as just an image and said, it's like, oh my gosh, I love your podcast. It was amazing. I just left a review. Check it out. So, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit, yeah, kind of a little bit cheesy, but it works.
And let's get this party rolling. So tell us all who you are, what it is that you do, and what got you into your space.
Yes. So I am Joanne Homestead, CEO of Desk Plant Creatives and the founder of the Empathic Email Copywriting Collective. And I am an obsessed storyteller, first of all. And on top of that, an email copywriter and copy coach. So I empower women entrepreneurs and coaches in wellness, well-being, and mindset to elevate their stories to really help connect, compel, and soulfully sell with audacious authenticity, all through the fantastic world of emails. That is my absolute happy place. Consent-based email marketing is so important, and I feel very passionately about this because as as someone who does marketing, a big piece of it is like the ethical marketing. And I think that just comes from my background in teaching, you know.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna be here manipulating children or trying to like, you know, I'm not gonna use their emotions against them to get them to do things that, Anyways, so yes, consent-based email marketing really means like, okay, we're entrepreneurs here, okay? We are, as one of my entrepreneur colleagues likes to say, we're building the plane as it's flying. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you're learning along the way, and if you're not sure on like the compliance and the legality of email, that's okay. But here you are. You can now
You
you can know exactly what you need to do. But asking for permission to add someone to your email list, and kind of like what you're saying, like not the kind where you're gonna schedule on someone's scheduling calendar and you have to click like yes in order to have a conversation with them. I do have that opt-in in my Calendly scheduler. You can, if you'd like to sign up for my free email community Flourish, you can sign up here. And then I have a little box that says, yes, I signed up. And then a no thanks, totally fine, nothing personal. So I give them that. It's like you need to give them that option. Or what you
Yeah.
said, like asking them for that permission from you. And then I also really think that double opt-in is really important. A lot of people, a double opt-in is basically where if like I have a free email storytelling guide that you can get from my website. And so when you sign up for it, you put your name in and your email address, you check the little box that says, I agree to receive marketing content from Decimite Creatives.
Hmm.
And then you click and then you get it in your inbox. And then this is the double opt-in. So you opted in once, and then there's a second opt-in in your email inbox. There's a confirmation email that says, yes, I do want to receive these emails. And actually it is like legally you are supposed to have like a double opt-in, but a lot of entrepreneurs don't want to do that because it's like that extra step. And people always say like you got to make it as easy as possible for, people to get in. And yes, there's that piece, but then there's also the piece of let's just make sure the consent is there. And the double opt-in also then does allow for emails not to end up in spam, because people will sign up for things and then they forget and then they get an email and they're like, where did this come from? Like,
Oh, that's
even though you
true.
signed up. And so you have that information there too.
Do you feel like people should be changing that up when it comes to that? Because I personally, and maybe that's just me, I get bored easily. But if I see the exact same thing, I get to the point where I'm just like, I'm not even going to check your email anymore because
Yeah.
I keep seeing the same information and I just don't care to keep rereading through the stuff to then get what I need out of it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have so much to share. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can remember. Okay, I had 3 points. Let's see if I can remember. One, one I think I like to say, which for a lot of people like who want to do, they're entrepreneurs, they really want to be able to connect with their email community, really compel with the storytelling and be able to like soulfully sell, directly promote, and do it in a way that's consent based, that gives them the option to opt out of a sales sequence, all those things. The first thing I say to them is get into a right relationship with your email inbox, because that is affecting the way you're going to show up writing in your emails. So your
Ooh.
own email inbox, you need to see what's going on in there for you. For some people, they are subscribed to a lot of different email newsletters, and they don't want to unsubscribe from any of them, even though some of them just don't resonate with them anymore. There's just, it's just not the right timing, but they feel like, oh, if I unsubscribe, like they're gonna, like that's like I'm gonna offend them, and that's
Yeah,
gonna show up when you are in your own email marketing, because when you go to write an email, you might get stuck, like you might procrastinate, you might not want to do it because you're thinking in your head, what if someone unsubscribes? I'm gonna feel a lot of, it's gonna like just break my heart, or like I can't handle it. So the first thing I say is you gotta get in right relationship with your own email inbox and really dig into what thoughts are coming up for you and get curious. Hmm, why am I having this thought? Okay. Or, someone said they were starting to feel a grudge about how many emails they were getting from these people who they love, they want to support,
wow.
but they were getting into a grudge because they were getting all these emails. And I said, like it's so you can support them in other ways. You would support them if you unsubscribe, because actually that would help their deliverability of their emails.
True.
Anyhow, um, and so I was like, yeah, just get curious. Like, what are your thoughts around that? What's going on? And then what kind of like what you're saying, like some people will say, like, well, I don't even read emails. I don't read emails. So that's why they get stuck trying, they want to use their email marketing. They feel like they have a really great community they built there, but they're stuck, and it's something around where they're realizing that the thought of, oh, I don't read my emails is now translating into no one's going to read my emails. No one's going to care. No, which is not true, because if you're doing consent-based email marketing, people have voluntarily signed up to come into your space. I like
Hmm.
to imagine it like this, like they have voluntarily come to your door, opened the door, and said, hey, I'm here. I'm so glad I'm here. I'd love to learn more about you. I want to get to know you. It's like that initial coffee chat, again, depending on where they're coming from, if they are more warm or cold, but they have chosen to be there and they want to hear from you. So I think it really starts with, okay, getting in right relationship with your email inbox. So then you can move forward with your email marketing in a way that feels good for you, that's on your own terms. No, there aren't like shoulds in here. Like, oh, I see this person doing that, so I have to do that, or I have to do this. Okay.
Hmm. That's a big
Second piece.
one.
Second piece with like the you're talking about like the footnote at the bottom of the email.
Oh, yes. The dreaded footnote.
Um, Again, that's kind of like what you're saying. Like you need to understand who you're talking to, your audience, your community. Like if people are seeing that and they're clicking on it, they're interested, you can see that they're clicking, great. They're into that. If you have that down there and no one's really clicking on anything, then that means it's just become white noise. It's like what you're saying.
Mm.
It's like it's just there, but it's not doing anything. Like there's no emotional connection. Again, like I like to talk a lot about, there's just no emotional connection there for you. So I would say just get rid of that. and really focus on the emotional piece, like hooking them into the storytelling, hooking them in for every line. So when they read the first line, they want to read the second, they want to read the third, they just want to keep reading. So that is another piece that comes up for a lot of my copy coaching clients is I don't want my email to be too long.
Yeah.
I tell all of them, it's not really about length. It could be long as long as it's compelling. If your people are into that and it's compelling and they are reading, you can tell they're like reading through and then they're clicking or they're engaging, then that works. Like it's not like the only time it's too long, it's not really about length, it's that it's not compelling. It falls flat, it's neutral. There's just something about it, the copywriting or the storytelling that is not landing.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Chat with Kat today, where real stories meet real solutions. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review on Apple, and share this with someone who may also need to hear this as well. Let's also keep the conversation going. Follow me on socials at The Lotus Effect, connect with our incredible guests, and remember, you are never alone. Your story matters, and you have the ability and the power to rewrite it. You always have a choice. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and keep showing up as the incredible, unstoppable